Not so many kids graduate in 4 years anymore, but they are the tip of the iceberg. It's really awe-inspiring to look at the kids in my daughter's class and realize if they stick around, every single one of them could go to the University of Michigan for free. Every one of the 500 kids in her school are going to be eligible, as are the students in the 16 other elementary schools, not to mention their younger brothers and sisters, some of them not even born yet. There's a tidal wave of college-bound young people rising in Kalamazoo. There's no way we can know today what that will mean for the school system, the economy, and the community down the road. But if the promise is to achieve its potential, everyone has a responsibility to participate. I was recently at a concert given by the kids at my daughter's school, standing there along with maybe 100 other parents of all races and income levels, video cameras at the ready. But before the singing began, the principal had a message. She pointed to the several hundred children arrayed on risers in the gym and said to the parents, quote, "Every one of these beautiful children has their college tuition in the bank. How are they going to get there? By reading. And who's going to help them? You are." To me, it's the urgency and the reality of this call to action that is the real gift given to us by the Kalamazoo Promise. Thank you.
Today at the City Club of Cleveland, we are listening to a Friday Forum featuring Michelle Miller Adams, author of The Power of a Promise, Education and Economic Renewal in Kalamazoo. We will return to our speaker in a minute for our traditional City Club questions, and we encourage you to formulate your questions now and remind you to keep them brief and to the point. We welcome you to this City Club Forum. For those listening to today's forum through one of our broadcast partners, we want to remind you that all are welcome here to attend the City Club. Please visit our website to see a full schedule of our upcoming programs. Our greetings go to those present in this room, especially to those of you who are guests. We hope you will join the City Club and become active in our ongoing civic dialogue. This Monday, May 3rd, the City Club is pleased to welcome Dr. Christina Romer, Chair of the Council of Economic Advisors. Please make your reservations today after the forum if you are interested in attending. Friday, May 7th, the City Club will host Frederick Hess, Director of Education Policy Studies at the American Enterprise Institute for Public Policy Research. On Monday, May 10th, we welcome Cuyahoga County Commissioner Peter Lawson-Jones, who will discuss the state of the county. For more information about our forums and events or to make a reservation, please refer to the back of your printed program or visit our website at cityclub.org. To order a DVD of today's program, please call the City Club at 1-888-223-6786 or 216-621-0082. We welcome guests at tables hosted by Kelfie, Halter, and Griswold, the Cleveland Foundation, the Cleveland Marshall College of Law, the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, Case Western Reserve University School of Law, Corman, Jackson, and Krantz, the Legal Aid Society, and Medical Mutual of Ohio. Thank you for joining us today. Today is the annual Laura and Elvin A. Siegel Endowed Forum. The City Club is proud and grateful to Mr. and Mrs. Siegel in their generosity in endowing today's forum. Please, Mr. and Mrs. Siegel, would you please stand so we can recognize you and thank you for your contribution. And we are pleased to welcome to our forum students who are here as part of our City Club student program. Participation of these students is made possible by a generous grant from Robert Weisberger. Today we welcome students from Shaw High School, students of Promise from John F. Kennedy High School, and Lincoln West. Will the students please stand and be recognized? And now we would like to return to our speaker for our traditional City Club question and answer period. We welcome questions from everyone, including guests. Holding the microphones today are City Club Membership and Outreach Manager Deborah Agasti and PR and Programs Manager Carrie Miller. So let's have our first question, please.
Ms. Miller Adams, I heard you mention donors. Just where does the money come from? Who are the donors? How much do they give? And also, when they go to like the University of Michigan, does it include room and board?
Okay, I'll answer the second part of your question first. It does not include room and board. It covers tuition and any mandatory fees that a university charges. What has happened in the past is that students many of whom in the district are low income, have, of course, applied for their Pell Grants. They've gotten additional funding, and that has gone. They've also gotten funding from the University of Michigan itself, so that has enabled them to attend the University of Michigan and other schools where they're no longer able to live in Kalamazoo. So you do need either familial resources or loans or working or additional financial aid if you're going to live away from home. I don't know who the donors are. It is, I believe, a small group of maybe about 6 people. I've been told that they're local. We happen to be home in Kalamazoo. It's a small town, but we actually have 3 people in our community who appear annually on the list of Forbes billionaires. Their money comes from generally the Stryker Medical Devices Company. There's also money in the community from the original Upjohn heirs. I do not know if any of these people are the donors. There's a long tradition of anonymous philanthropy in Kalamazoo. There's been a lot of speculation about the issue, but as the executive director of the Kalamazoo Promise, who's the only person who acknowledges as being the go-between with the donors, says they have spent a lot of money to remain anonymous. I write in the book about why the money comes, more practically. This is a very important point, there is no endowment. That actually turned out over the last few years to be a great thing because the donors didn't lose a lot of money on their endowment, as happened in some other communities. It is a rolling contribution made out of the donors' estates and holdings. It has been structured, the lawyers have assured us, as a multi-generational commitment. So when they die, the money will be there. It comes from a holding company into a 501c3 organization, and the funds are paid directly to the university. They do not go to the families. The university basically has a bill with the Kalamazoo Promise. So.
Hello, my name is Sean George, and I'm a senior at Shaw High School. And first, I wanted to say that I was completely blown away at such an ambitious project that you're undertaking. And what I wanted to know, my question is, what made you, what was the determining factor that made you want to undertake such a project of such magnitude to give someone all the money they need to go to college?
Okay, well, it wasn't me. I just wanted to write about it, and that was a big enough undertaking. But I think that the donors, from what I've heard, the donors and the woman that I mentioned, the executive director of the Promise, she's the former school superintendent, and the program, her name is Janice Brown, Dr. Janice Brown, and she's kind of a force of nature, like superintendents often are, and they kind of have to be. And she was in conversations with a group of the community's most wealthy and committed individuals, people who have lived there for many years, have made their fortunes there, have chosen to stay there, reinvest in the community. And they were talking about what they could do that would change everything, that was powerful enough to reverse some of these negative trends that I've talked about. And I don't know who said it first, but the idea of every child in this community being able to go to college for free forever seemed to get at a lot of different issues. And a woman at the Community Foundation that I work with said, I quote her in the book, they went in big and they picked the right thing. This isn't quite right, but because it's connected to everything. And that, I think, is the critical aspect of it, that it draws in the real estate developers and the housing builders and the arts education people and the business people and the volunteers. And so everybody can come together and engage with this project in their own way, doing what's right for them to do. So thank you, Sean.